Now, this is a continuation from the video that we made that was explaining the different land tenure systems we have. We have Milo, freehold, leasehold, and customary land tenure systems. Have you ever driven around the country or a particular area in search of land? Have you ever gotten in touch with brokers and they tell you, your land is from here up to there? And you just, for some reason, you can't go through the bushes to see the boundary marks. Now, many of us, because we are anxious to buy the land and we have the money and we don't want to waste it, we end up buying the land without doing due diligence. Council Rebecca is here today to tell us what we need to look out for if we have to buy land. Don't save up for 5 years and end up being frauded of your money and end up buying air. Let us try to follow what the law says, but also do due diligence so that we don't waste our money. Becky, you're welcome to tell us what we need.
Thank you very much. So before you purchase land, any tenure system you want to purchase, whether you want to get leasehold, whether you want to obtain land from a freehold, whether it's Milo land, this is the this is the due diligence that you have to go through. The first thing that you have to obtain before you purchase land, what are the particulars of the land? Talk to the landowner or whichever broker that you've got. Ask what are the particulars of the land? Where is the land found? What is the block number of the land? What is the plot of the land? What is the location? Is it in Mukono? Is it in Kampala district? Is it in Chadondo? And who is the registered proprietor of this land?
When you say registered proprietor, what do you mean?
Whose name will appear on the certificate of title?
Okay.
Yes. These questions, such questions on the proprietorship and on the particulars of the land will enable you to know, or they will help you find more information from the land registry. Because you can't go to the land registry and give them, I want to find out land, it's there located in Mukono, you have to give particulars. I'm looking for land, block 21, plot 1, land located at Kayunga, land located in Chetume, something like that. Having obtained the particulars, then please ensure, many people buy land because you are told there is land, someone so and so is selling land.
Maureen is selling land and I'm your friend.
Land, people have bought it. So I would advise whoever is purchasing land to visit that land. When they tell you the land is in Mukono, located at such and such a place, visit. And the reason why you visit such places is to find out, does this land exist? If it does, do not stop at just looking at the land. Talk to the neighbors. These people know information, more information you even get from the land registry. The land registry, yes, will give you, yes, this is the plot, this is the acreage, this is the registered proprietor. But when you ask these people, they'll tell you, by the way, that land has a dispute on it. So and so is claiming it, the other person is claiming. This is information you won't get.
So in short, when we go to visit the land, we should be able to be humble and friendly enough to speak to the neighbors.
Yes.
Because the neighbors sometimes have extra knowledge on what's happening on that land because they are there, they are near the land. Yeah. So they'll tell you there was a meeting here on that land the other day and people were about to kill each other on the land because the heir wants the land, the rest are saying, no, you took your share. So I think visit the site.
Yes, visit the site, talk to the neighbors, talk to the LC. They will confirm ownership or they will tell you actually whoever is selling you that land is not the owner of the land.
You brought up the issue of the LCs. How about these LCs that are part and parcel of the rackets of people that are selling land twice? Because again, for you to get a certificate or to purchase land, you have to go to the LC. Now the LC has signed on for two people on the same, or that should be something we discuss another time. Okay.
I can still talk about it. You know, it's not that the entire village will lie to you. Don't talk to one person. That's why I'm giving you these options. Talk to the LC, get the side of the story from the LC. Then talk to the neighbors. If the LC is siding with the other people, the neighbors won't say the same thing. They will say, actually, that land belongs to Mr. So-and-so. That land belongs to so-and-so. There you will know this land already. If you're getting different information from the LC and different information from the neighbors, definitely you will know. It's an indication that there is there's a problem with this land. You can either proceed to purchase it with its issues, but a wise person will put a hold. Yes. You may not, the different information you get may not really buy you, because there are other due diligences that you have to do. You can proceed now to find out from land registry. You visit the land registry before you purchase. Make a down payment on any land. Talk to a lawyer. Let them request information from the land registry. It is advisable you present a photocopy of the title that this person is claiming to be a title of that land. You present that title to the registry, and they confirm. They look at their white page. What do we have and what you've presented? If there are any inconsistencies, they will present that in their report. That actually this land does not
match.
So when it's presented, they will look at, is this the same block that we have? Is it the same plot number? Is it the same proprietor? And also another important thing, when you visit the land registry, it will be able to show you if there are any encumbrances on the land.
When you say encumbrances, Rebecca, just demystify that for us.
Usually, when you look at a title, it has the first page, the proprietorship page, and then the encumbrance page. The encumbrance page shows if there are any other interests on the land.
Or has it been caveated?
Is there a caveat, someone stopping any transaction from going on the land? Has it been mortgaged? Is there a mortgage on this land? Is there an easement? Have they created a road on that land? All that will be able to come out if you look at.
I think it's very important. The purchase of land is not a one-day thing, like you go to the shop and buy a dress or a shirt. You have to do due diligence. Let's go to the next one.
Yes. Okay. Then the other thing you have to do is ensure to do a boundary opening. Someone will tell you, I'm selling you 10 acres, but is that the exact size that you're buying? Always it may be costly, but get a land surveyor. Let them open their boundaries to show you that, yes, this custom passes here, the other custom passes there. This will enable you ascertain that this is the exact acreage. Then we also look at, before you sign any documents, transfers, sales agreement, you must ascertain if you've obtained the necessary consent that is required. I'll give an example. If someone is selling land, family land, you see there is a residential home, there is a farmland, ascertain, have they obtained consent? If it's a married man, have you ascertained consent from the wife?
That is very important.
Yes.
Very, very important. Gentlemen and ladies, you're selling your family land, you're selling your homes, and then you're pushing out your family because now the owner has come to claim their land. It's important to consent. And so how do you get that consent? How do you know? Do they sign a document? How do they do?
Sometimes the documents signed for it's always advisable you get a document signed showing, so that in the future they don't say, my wife did not consent or my husband did not consent. Yes. This also goes hand in hand with if you're buying land from a chibanja holder, they must show that the registered owner of the land consented to him selling that portion of the land to you.
How about in these cases where, especially vibanja holders, where the owner of the land went to America or to Russia, or they're in Greece, and we don't know them, but we know that we are evangel holders on land. Which consent? Where do you get that consent? Ovanzi, I sell off the land, and I tell the person, you have a landlord, and ninchimulekamu.
No, you communicate. You find a way of communicating. Because usually, if you're a chibanja holder, the owner knows that you own that land. You do the necessary diligence, find out where are they. If you can't, then report to the land registry that I cannot find the landowner, but I'm intending to sell my land.
Okay.
So they will advise you adequately.
Okay.
Yes.
So take us to another step, or one of the other things that we have to do as due diligence before you purchase land. We've looked at we looked at opening boundaries, we looked at visiting the site, we looked at getting the documentation to the land registry. You have to match, speak to neighbors. What else now?
So having ascertained from all this, the due diligence you've gone through, all those steps, then we come now to the step of drafting the documents that we are going to use in our transaction. And it's always advisable. Yes, you may think lawyers are expensive, or you can do it on your own, but many people err. It's advisable you get a lawyer to help you in drafting these agreements. Mainly if it's a sales agreement, please, as the buyer, make sure it is your lawyer drafting your sales agreement, because you are properly covered. He will ensure that your rights as a buyer are protected in that agreement. Other people just enter, and it helps. You get more witnesses to the sale agreement. People just sit, Mr. A here, Mr. B here, with B being the seller with his group. They're going to turn on you alone. No one else has witnessed this agreement. So it is always advisable you get a lawyer to help you in your final process of now drafting the sales agreement, get the transfer forms from the seller, and then register whatever you have with them.
Now, many of us out there, and many of you, I know you're watching me and you keep selling, but Councillor Rebecca is just wanting a job for herself. Friend, if you're purchasing land, be it 10 million shillings or 5 or 7 million shillings, that's a lot of money to just exchange without witness and proper documentation. It's advisable, like they said, so far I've had 2 people, at least have a surveyor to help you open your boundaries properly. Then yes, go through that expense, but it saves you at the end of the day, because even he'll be witness to if anything, if a conflict arose on that land. Then have a lawyer draft for you proper documents. Katimi, I can be thinking, I can write, Nze Maureen.N.W, I have bought land from Miss Rebecca. Land totaling to 10 acres. But I might miss out some things.
Yes, there's some clauses, essential clauses that a lawyer would advise or would require to put in that agreement that you're going to leave out. Yet they're going to cover you in the long run in case anything comes up. Such a clause will be of help. But you as Maureen,
I may
you
not
will
be
not
able to
know.
Now, there's also the issue that we need to discuss, Rebecca.
Yes.
When it comes to land sale, how do you prefer? How do you advise people? Now we have drafted the document, we have agreed. Many people are intimidated into 2% cash. Friend, even the bank can be your witness when you go to the bank and bank that money on the seller's account and on the bank purpose, because on all banking slips there is also that word purpose of the deposit. You put buying land, and land, land transaction or whatever. So these are things that we need to, don't be intimidated. Brokers can intimidate buyers. Tugende ondwisa ovanze kuba tuyagala kangende etaka zireterero bagenda. Anybody that is in a rush, in as much as you want that land, let it go. Otherwise, let us hear from one more guideline on what to do when you're going to purchase land, and then we proceed.
It may not really be a guideline, but allow me conclude on this entire due diligence issue. Once you've done the required due diligence and you have evidence that you've done it, or you've hired a surveyor to open the boundaries, you've talked to the neighbors, they already know you, the LC knows you, then this acts as a proper cover-up in case someone claims that you fraudulently purchased this land. Because these days, fraud is a very big issue with land transactions. There are very many people who have lost land with such claims. You didn't do this, you didn't do this land was belonging to so and so, you didn't know that. So if you've done all this, the proper due diligence, then once you are sued in our courts of law, you can easily have a defense. You can tell what I am a bona fide purchaser for value without notice.
No,
I did not know about all this. But I did the necessary due diligence. I went to the registry, it presented this. I talked to the chairman, they said A was the owner of the land. I talked to the landowners, they said A is the owner of the land. They opened up boundaries, it is the same piece of land.
So this is where they signed, they were here when we were opening up
the land agreement. I dealt with lawyer so and so. This is the information he had. You are covered. You are not going to lose out on a lot.
Okay.
And in most cases, people are granted a land like that. Bona fide purchaser for value without notice.
No, council. The council is now saying bona fide purchaser without council. Bona fide purchaser without notice. Now again, we have to tell us about that. For now, we know what we need to do before purchasing land, and we know what type of land we are going to purchase, because Toyize, the land tenure systems in Uganda. So friend, let us continue. Don't forget to share the video. Cut out what you feel you want and share that. It's okay.